There is a wild and glorious scent in the air, a kind of light. What is this place? Eastward. Come then, crew. The Chipping Norton departs Port Cecil. We shall return here for more chess in the future, no doubt. But for now, we must journey on into the east to see if we can't find Mount, wherever it was called, wherever it is that we're supposed to be taking this crate of souls. No doubt it will be obvious when we arrive there. Let's see. Onward! We have spent enough time at rest here in Port Cecil, playing chess and all of that good stuff. Let us weave our way through these corals, which do seem to be rather aglow. I wonder if we can turn our light off whilst we're here. The crew might get a little bit nervous, but there should be plenty of light coming from these mystical corals. January 2nd, 1888. Discovered Brooks Reef. 50 fragments. And the wreck of the Emperor Wolfgang, entombed forever in coral. We are leaving the light of the coral now. Light the ship's lamp! Let it shine out to guide our path and ease our hearts. Some kind of giant lily pads ahead. Mysterious. January 2nd, 1888. We watch for fungal pads in the Sea of Lilies. There is a prison here, guarded by knot oracles. Discovered the Sea of Lilies. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuits. It waggles its antenna impertinently. That's horrible! What will I have with my cup of tea now? January 3rd, 1888. Discovered Noop Midit and Wisdom. Noop Midit Harbour. Very well, we'll make dock here in Noop Midit Harbour upon Wisdom. Perhaps there will be something of interest for us. It certainly looks like a most inviting place. Wisdom. The prison walls are mercilessly steep. Nupidit built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Now it answers only to its governor, and its governor answers to no one. Hand over a prisoner. We don't have any prisoners to hand over. Or exchange a secret for a prisoner. We don't have enough pages. Or we did have a searing enigma, but we spent it. We turned it into money. Compile a port report. Watch the comings and goings. Not so many goings. Ships from the Khanate are most common, but you see Kelonate vessels, polythreme triremes, and chained and sulky unfinished men. Corsairs disposing of their miscreants, even one furtive Irim's skiff. The wardens pay them well for their prisoners. You now have one of this, a port report. Rescue a prisoner. Scale the walls. Enter through the outflow pipes. Evade the guards. Secure your rescuee without raising any alarms. Don't get eaten by a giant toad. No more than 0 doom, Wisdom forewarned. 11% chance of success. I don't think so. I think Wilberforce weird. I'm not yet ready to start busting people out of prison, especially with no particular reason or cause to do so. I'm sure they will have a reason that they have been in prison there, and I'm not about to go in and try and bust one out for the sake of it. So there probably isn't anything else to do here, unless of course they've got a shop. Hello, do you have a gift shop? You have a harbour provisioners, and your fuel is, well, reasonably priced. We've got 6 fuel at the moment. How far do we have to go? We're almost at the far eastern side of the world. I think we'll leave it for now. We can always return here if we need to. Let us launch the Chipping Norton back into these far eastern waters, this curious land of giant man-eating, possibly even ship-eating toads. Look, there's one there on the lily pad. We shall have to keep our distance, lest it send its sticky tongue forth to drag the Chipping Norton back into its waiting embrace. Not that it probably would be able to eat the entire ship. I mean, that would be quite a mouthful for it, but I suppose it could get a member of crew off of the deck. which would be bad, both for morale and indeed for the good operation of a ship. Because these ships, well, I mean, we saw what happened to the Chipping Norton when we lost most of its crew during our last voyage. It wasn't pretty, and we barely got back alive. Fortunately, this voyage is going much better so far. What's this up ahead? Mysterious glow or fog? January 3rd, 1888. And now we enter the Calumnies. There is a wild and glorious scent in the air, a kind of light. What is this place? Easterval. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. Discovered Leslie's Harbour. This place looks lovely. Look at this. It's like a paradise. Easterval. Sun. A great beam of sunlight bathes the island. Squint into the dazzle far above. There is a hole in the roof. In that light, you see beaches of white gold sand, trees heavy with bright fruit, the reds and blues and greens of the surface. Investigate the ruins. There was some sort of installation here, and what looks like a handsome country house. Who was here? And what happened to them? Gather supplies. Go beachcombing. Compile a port report. Red birds singing. A garden overgrown with berry bushes. A wooden trestle table set for a meal. Chairs strewn with bones. A half-dozen skeletons. The red-breasted bird perches on a grinning cranium. It cocks an eye at you and bursts into song, a liquid, thrilling sound. It seems unperturbed as you approach to poke through the bones. No signs of violence, no fire, no bullets, no bites. These people died peacefully, sitting down to breakfast as the surfaced sunlight spilled over them. Sunlight can kill at any time. The longer you remain here, the more danger you're in. So why did they stay? Perhaps they stayed because Easterval is as beautiful as anywhere in the Neath, and 10 times as generous. It's a fine place for a colony. You could found your own pocket kingdom if you could do something about the sun. But what? What has power over sunlight? What makes the impossible possible? We've gained one memory of distant shores. To found a colony brings something to Easterval that can protect against sunlight. Intriguing. An intriguing possibility. I will have to give this much thought. Of course, as I, Wilberforce Weird, am a scientist first and foremost. Perhaps some kind of contraption, an invention of some sort. We shall see in the future, perhaps. Should we gather some supplies? We have 9 supplies. We're going to do it. Exotic delights. Breadfruit, sugarcane, coconut, soft-shelled crabs, and plump birds too stupid to know a hungry sailor from a tree. Easterval is ripe with treasures unknown in the Neath. Fill your hold. You've gained 11 supplies, a new total of 20. That's all for now. Is our hold actually full? Our hold is not full. Okay. Compile a port report. Write fast. The light scars. A burning after-image. Your eyes water. The pages blur. The report is one of joy-filled complaint. Easterval has a beauty too bright to be appreciated. But perhaps the Admiralty can find something of use. You now have a port report for Easterval. Very well. We are going to have to leave. I didn't realize I had been down in the Neath so long that my eyes had become so unaccustomed to the light. And indeed, it seems to burn in a way that it never did on the surface world. Come then, crew of the Chipping Norton, let us leave this gem, this gleaming, deadly gem, where she lies. Perhaps in the future we will return. Come then, crew, put thoughts of Easterval out of your mind, as we must leave this gem behind us. For at least a time we can continue to enjoy the sunlight and keep our lamp off. But before long we shall be back into the eternal gloom of the Sunless Sea. The darkness surrounding us once again. Up ahead, the usual dark stone of the Neath, a far cry from Eastval's brilliance, but reassuring in its own way. Of course, it's not bare stone that we seek, but civilization, a port where we can unload these unregistered human souls and free ourselves of the burden which they present to us. It must be around here somewhere. I hope we find it soon, because our fuel diminishes ever more, and without the fresh echoes that I hope we'll receive upon making that delivery, then I am gravely concerned about us making it much of anywhere. January 5th, 1888. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, and then fades. And here, far in the east, we discover that metaphysical line that borders the edge of the world. Dare we cross that line? Do we seek what lies beyond it? Shall we proceed? Can we press on ever further? What will we find beyond the edge in the east? The sun beneath the sea. We sail east. The islands will fall behind. The sea will be troubled by greater waves. The false stars will pale until the Neath roof grows invisible above. New scents will prickle the air, something like spice and something like pine. The light below. At first, the sea will still be the colour of night behind glass. But then we'll see the light below. The colour of the water will change. Rain wet slate, then darkest jade, then deep, rich green. Green as fresh emeralds, green as remembered rivers. Unlocked with no more than 0 at last salt song. The death of words. It will be silent, that place where the sun lies beneath the sea. The engines will toil without sound. Words will issue from our mouths and puff into vapours. The silence will be too much. The scrutiny of the golden light rising beneath us. We will have no choice to turn back to Irem, where the world becomes real. We have lost 3 supplies. We are returning to port. We have the mark of the East, and we have no fuel. Irem! None have ever spoken truthfully of this place. We are without fuel. First, we must visit the shops. Gladly, this place is teeming with life and industry and activity. Perhaps here we can find some harbour, some use, some sale for our goods. We have a bale of parabola linen, which we can sell for nothing. Alas. Threshold! None sail east from Irem. This shop is for those who sail east from Irem. We can sell some of our supplies, but we can sell them for nothing. Wind come calling. Tales and tales and tales. A tale of terror. None of these things get any money. Don't sell for anything. Times 0. This is terrible. We can't make any money from selling anything here at all. Well, we're going to have to buy fuel then. Fuel? 20. We only managed to purchase 3. Yes, just 3 fuel. This is not a good sign. We have no other form of income available to us. Even but 1 echo would buy us a 4th unit of fuel. Alas, it seems unavailable. Irem, the pillared city. She will rise from the sea and the ice like dawn. She will be garlanded with red and decked with gold. The Seven Serpent will watch you longingly from its high pedestal. You will always arrive as a stranger, but when you leave, some part of you will always remain. The House of the Amber Sky. Rest, traveller, our waters are warm, our cushions are petal soft. Lay your head here, you will be healed, or better yet, you will be renewed. Payment in coffee, yes, please? Sadly, we do not have any coffee, and so we cannot. But let us compile a port report. You will record what you have seen. A conundrum. When you will sit down to write the report, you will recall that it was written already. Who wrote it? The report records that it was already written when it was found. Who found it? The report describes another report, which will indicate the name of the finder. Where is the other report? There is a footnote, which describes when you will record its location. When will that be? When all is well, and all manner of thing is well. We now have a port report for Irem, and it is very confusing. Well, we have 3 fuel to see us through on our return to Fallen London, and I think, really, we have to make for Fallen London directly. Although, as I say that, I realise that I have no idea where I am in the Untersee. Where could we be? Let's check the map. Wow. Incredibly, we have somehow wound up even further north and east than the last time we ventured off the edge of the world and wound up in that godforsaken port of Frostfound. Now, an even greater journey lies before us. Perhaps we could venture to Frostfound, but our main problem now is that we have no echoes for fresh fuel and supplies, and without it, I fear we will never make that journey. Perhaps we should venture south and try our luck in the search for the port where we can offload our crate of human souls. It's a desperate gambit, but I believe it to be our only hope of survival. Old Wilberforce finding himself in a spot of bother there at the far eastern end of the Sunless Sea. And if you like what you've seen in Sunless Seas and you've not yet taken the plunge, then, well, what are you playing at? There was literally just a Steam-free weekend, and indeed the game was on offer. But fear not if you missed it, because the very kind people over at Failbetter Games have generously gifted me 2 copies of Sunless Seas to give away as Steam keys to you lovely people out there, as part of my Great Games giveaway, which is a little bit late, but let's not worry about that now. For all the details and how to enter, see my comment in the comment section below.